Hello, hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. In the last episode, we were exploring Crucible Keep. The Crucible Knights, Ximena does definitely prefer them so far to the dozens, but we have yet to speak to their leader, Commander Clyver. We've seen him, he's just down here in the war room, so let's go have a wee chat, see what he's about. Now then, you're right.
Refugees from every corner of the Deerwood. The dozens getting them all riled up about animancy. At this rate, we'll need twice the soldiers to patrol Defiance Bay. Yes? Can I help you with something?
Yeah, that's the thing. The dozens, they don't understand animancy. And they're not interested in learning about it. Instead, they're just saying, oh, animancy is evil because we don't understand what they're doing. Therefore, we're going to get everyone riled up and we're going to have riots in the streets, blah, blah, blah. Ximena's not too fond of that. You know, when a city is, rioting, it's not good for her business. It's not good for her business. When everything is nice and calm and the people are complacent, she can come in and do her thing. But when people are, naturally suspicious of newcomers, that's when they start looking at her being like, what? Excuse me? Pardon? Say that again. Who are you? Like, she doesn't like a city that is rioting. She wants somewhere that's nice and calm and complacent. Emphasis on complacent. You're in charge of the Crucible Knights. Here in Defiance Bay, anyhow. The High Justice is the leader of our order, but he's currently stationed at Fleetbreaker Castle. My job is to oversee our forces in Defiance Bay and to keep order for the Duke. Was there something else I can do for you? Tell me about the Knights of the Crucible. He crosses his hands behind his back. We're the only professional army in Defiance Bay, or in the Deerwood for that matter. We defended the city in Hadrat's day. We've improved our training since then, but Dunrid Rowe can certify that many of our officers come from good Deerwood and fighting stock. Now, we're responsible for patrolling the city and keeping the peace. With so many refugees pouring in from the countryside, that's becoming more important than ever. Unfortunately, that's earned us enemies, particularly among the dozens and some of the more enterprising families in Defiance Bay. What do the dozens have against you? He snorts. They're demagogues and troublemakers. They forget that Defiance Bay is one of the largest cities in the world and not some frontier outpost. Most of them are mercenaries on a good day, and street thugs the rest of the time. Needless to say, they've no patience for law and order. Tell me about these enterprising families. House Domenal, namely. They're one of the city's oldest noble families and its largest criminal organisation. Ooh. Their patriarch, Gedmar, has been trying to take advantage of the turmoil to expand his operation. We've kept on top of him, and he hasn't been too happy about that. I see. Was there something else I can do for you? Why don't you have enough soldiers?
Fleetbreaker Castle. The High Justice has summoned almost half of my novitiates, and more of my justiciars to a keep on the other side of New Hailmar. It's not for me to question the High Justice's orders, but it's left us short-handed. And mark me, we're just a couple sparks away from anarchy.
Ooh. Is there any way I can help? I know how to handle myself, benevolent Knights of the Crucible Slight Positive. With so many newcomers, can't you just recruit more soldiers? Rational. Quit being dramatic. You've chosen this career. Cruel Knights of the Crucible Slight Negative. What's wrong? Can't keep a bunch of desperate, homeless, half-starved citizens in line. Clever. That seems like such an arsehole thing to say. And then Slight Negative. That's unfortunate, stoic. With so many newcomers, can't you just recruit more soldiers? More recruits means more training, which means more time from experienced soldiers that I don't have. He half turns away from you. Anyhow, I hardly see how this is any of your concern. But if you've got the time to ask me about it, then perhaps you've got the time to do something constructive. Forge Master Dunstan is working with an animancy scholar to build what we're calling Forge Knights, Warriors that can patrol our streets without suffering fatigue, disobedience, or fear. Some agitator throws a rock at them, we don't have to worry about things getting out of hand. He's constructed the armor, but we need the scholar's research. Unfortunately, she hasn't been around the last few times my novitiates have checked. Viana lives with the rest of the Scriveners out in Copper Lane, but I haven't the soldiers to spare at the moment. Go to the Scrivener's dormitory and see if you can find her. When you get the research, just bring it to Dunstan. This is his area of expertise anyway. Once you've brought him the research, he can sell you any arms or armor you have if you have need. He forges and repairs all our equipment. You won't find a more capable smith in Defiance Bay. Ooh, he's just given us a job. Okay. Goodbye. Okay, I was sort of avoiding doing jobs for any of these groups. I mean, he's given us the quest. That doesn't mean we have to do it. This map shows the environment surrounding Defiance Bay. Flags mark strategic access points to the city. Okay. I mean, so far they don't seem to have an issue with us unlocking stuff.
This calls for a subtle touch.
There we go. And again, I'm not going to touch it. I just want the experience. Oh, hello, that's not theft. Edict of arrest. Oh. Okay. What is this? This document estimates the flow of refugees over the past 3 months. The figures grow by the week. Yeah, things are dire out on the frontier.
There. What did I tell you?
Ken, thank you. Thank you, don't mind me. Don't mind me, I'm just unlocking all of your stuff. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we picked up there. Edict of arrest. This edict calls for the arrest of all whose recent actions have led to the death of a Crucible Knight. It requests reporting any information to Justicar Aldmar. It is signed Commander Clyver. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, that's just find it on. So he's probably still in the city. What was it? Built to last. Go to the Scrivener's dormitory. Okay. I'm thinking I want to talk to Dunstan about this. Let's see if he has any specific dialogue before we head out, and maybe we'll also have a chat with Aldmar about this wanted poster, and then we'll head on out. Oops, excuse me. No, stay still. There we go. Something else on your mind? Commander Clyver said you're working with an animancer to build Forge Knights.
So much for his talk of secrecy. I'm building Cleaver's metal warriors. He says they're what we need to keep order in Defiance Bay, so...
He shrugs and shakes his head. How are you creating these Forge Knights? Suits of armor and souls. Clyver's had me repairing and reinforcing unused armor for months now, just so we can fill them with some poor sod's essence. He wipes his shining brow. As long as that scholar girl's got her numbers right, infusing the armor with a soul won't be that hard, but that's not what bothers me, so what is it that bothers you? And you need Viana's research to complete them. She's been working out a method to transfer the souls into the armor. Getting the process just right is critical. He holds up one hand. Bind the souls too tightly, and you get something like those flesh constructs at the sanitarium. Barely bright enough to avoid walking into a wall. He raises his other hand. But bind them too loosely and they'll be too self-aware for their own good. Mad killers in metal bodies. Do you disagree with Clyver about the Forge Knights? I disagree with him on near about everything, and this is no exception. These Forge Knights won't solve our manpower problem. He can call them what they want, but they aren't knights. Doesn't take Etomark's nose to smell the trouble here. A group that can't stand together is headed for a fall. He folds his arms and looks at the ground. And don't get me started on the other problem. Those souls he's bought to power the Forge Knights? Clyver keeps telling himself that they came from willing donors, but he knows better. There's a reason you have to buy souls through less than legal channels. We should be clearing those scavengers off the road, not doing business with them. Enough about the Forge Knights. If only. Goodbye. Okay. Yeah, he seems to harbour reservations. Ooh. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna hold off on doing that. We'll find this this third and final group, and then we can maybe think about, okay, which one would Ximena want to ally herself with? Looking for something, or just knocking the dirt off your boots? I'm looking for information on Oren. He crosses his arms and spits. Filthy little flea picker. What did you want to know? How did he manage to kill a Crucible of the Night? A Crucible of the Night, excuse me. How did he manage to kill a Knight of the Crucible? Now there's a question. Witnesses say he was drunk and arguing with the man. If I had to guess, I'd say the sneaky bastard had a weapon on him and took the Justicar by surprise. The coward ran off before anyone knew what he'd done. Do you know where he is? Rumours say he fled to the catacombs after he murdered the knight. As much as I'd love to string him up, I don't have anyone I can spare to go crawling in that filth to check for him. Okay. Okay, well, we have a few things leading us to the catacombs. And that's all I wanted to know. Right, what can I do for you? That's all. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so we're looking for 3 things in the catacombs. We're looking for the Temple of Wodica. We're looking for a corpse called Rowena, and we're looking for this Orn person. Okay, so that leads us to Brackenbury. We haven't been there yet. Heritage Hill is apparently swarming with undead, so I'm like, do I really want to go there? Do I really want to go there? I feel like we should go here and then maybe head over to Ondra's Gift. Ooh. An Animancer, hello. Nedin. Nothing. Nothing, Okay, you do you.
Good day to you.
Okay. A woman stands in the shade of the garden, muttering to herself. She's fixated on the pages of a large and well-worn tome, seemingly oblivious to the blooming flowers and the cool, fragrant breeze. She only looks up when your shadow crosses her page. Do you mind? I'm rather busy. What are you so busy with? She snaps her book shut. I'm studying soul attachment. We all know that souls move into people at birth and out of them at death, but we still have a lot of questions about what makes them stick, so to speak. What do you mean about making them stick? She brushes a stray lock from her forehead. Souls power bodies and give their tissue life, but only when they're firmly attached. It's separation that leads to the whole spate of soul-related ailments, including the Hollowborn. But if we understood how to reattach souls, we could end Weidman's legacy, maybe even conquer death. She scratches behind her ear. That's the theory, anyway. Unfortunately, I don't have all the research I need to put it into practice. What exactly do you need? This is the problem with animancers. You meddle in things you don't understand. I mean, that is true, but... like, so does any kind of scientist. Any kind of scientist meddles in things they don't understand. That's how you gain understanding. What exactly do you need? There's a manuscript called the Theorems of Pangram. Pangram, rather. It contains research from Pangram's experiments on detached souls. The Hall of Revealed Mysteries is rumoured to have a copy in the Elder Archives. Pangram's work is considered to be one of the more daring animancy texts. Not something generally circulated among novices, nor easy to get a hold of. I wonder if we might have a peek at it. The theorems could advance my research by leaps and bounds, but Grimda, the High Archivist, worships Whale, which means she has some paradoxical views on sharing and restricting knowledge. And since she's not exactly a proponent of animancy, she tends to restrict the kinds of information that would be useful to me. That's a shame. I'm sorry to hear that, Benevolent. Maybe she could be persuaded. Well, it is her decision. I mean... yo, I'll get you anything for a price. I'll get you anything for a price. Maybe she could be persuaded. You're welcome to try, but you wouldn't be the first. She sighs. Anyway, I should probably get back to my work. Tell me about yourself. I'm an animancer at the sanitarium. Currently, I'm researching matters related to Widewind's legacy. Anything else? We know what the legacy is. I get this. Now we're getting an animancer's perspective on it, though. What's Widewind's legacy? Widewind's legacy refers to the rise in hollowborn children in the Deerwood in recent years. Some have also connected it to the so-called beerwicks that blow through Eglanfath. There's hardly any reliable data on those, though, so I can't really comment. She sniffs. I don't much care for the term Widewind's legacy. It reeks of superstition, but it's too prevalent to change at this point. Personally, I'd like to see people take a more methodical approach to these matters, rather than throwing up their hands and blaming the gods. Don't think Deerwoodans would see too much fun in that. I have some questions about the theorems of Pangram. Such as? Tell me about the theorems of Pangram. Pangram was an animancer working in the Deerwood. He had some interesting theories about essence and some rather innovative techniques for studying it. He was able to reattach souls to bodies after death, although he wasn't able to prevent his patients from degenerating. He was controversial to say the least, but many are starting to realise that he was merely ahead of his time. What do you mean by degenerating? Nedin twists her hands together. Well, there seems to be a tiny problem with reattaching souls after death. The bodies will reanimate and may even retain memories and personality, but they develop a hunger for flesh. Living, soul-infused flesh. Without it, they start to devolve, decaying mentally and physically. If the process goes too far, which it eventually does, they become mindless corpses attacking anything that moves. We haven't figured out a way to avoid that. That is more than an inconvenient side effect. You've reproduced an unnatural curse with little to show for it. That sounds like necromancy. That sounds dangerous, I see. Ooh. So I am aware there is a difference between animancy and necromancy. I'm aware they're not the same thing. But this is sounding a wee bit like necromancy. That sounds like necromancy. Nonsense. Necromancy is magic. This is science. She emphasizes the last word. Okay, so you've created scientific necromancy. Excellent. Why doesn't Grimda lend you the book you need? The Hall of Revealed Mysteries is rather protective of its books, especially the rarer ones. And Grimda in particular. She hates animancy, thinks it's dangerous. I don't see how you can run the greatest library in the Deerwood and be so adverse to the spread of knowledge and research, but I've never understood these religious types. Aloth scowls at the animancer. Some knowledge is best kept under lock and key. I'd like to know about the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. You'll find it in the Copper Lane district. It's dedicated to the God of Secrets and Revelations. Most importantly, it houses the largest and most expansive library in the Deerwood. Well, that settles it. We simply must go see it, right? We've already been. What are the Elder Archives? The Elder Archives hold the rarest, most arcane, and most powerful texts in the Deerwood. Think of it as the inner sanctum of the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. Needless to say, you need Grimda's permission to enter. Yeah, we've also seen that room. And that's all I wanted to ask. Anything else? She looks eager to return to her studies. I'll leave you alone. Farewell. Okay. We have... Oh, the sanitarium. Just hear me out. With this procedure, her soul would more or less be returned intact. More or less. Is that how you plan on presenting your idea to Ethelmore? Why? Not good? Not good. Yeah, they're both animancers. Okay, so we have the sanitarium. To Andra's gift, Hadrat House, I was right. House Domenel, Raymont Manor, to Copper Lane, the Charred Barrel. Okay. Oh, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by this Hadrat house. I'm pretty sure that was the last faction available. Ooh, hell. You're wearing fancy Valian clothes. But I don't want to read your soul. No, thank you. Excuse me? I swear. What is this? What is this? There we go. The marble is cool and perfectly smooth. Droplets of crystal clear water bead the statues. Lovely. A noble. Yeah, let's go see Hadrat House. Okay, this looks very, very interesting. The marble at the base has been worn smooth by the passage of hundreds of feet. Dunrid agents. Curran's wasting his time with those disappearances. Alright. Oh, okay, it was that moving over. Got it. Okay. So we have an upstairs portion. A link. Yes, I'm certain of it. Curran. That's stealing. Boo. This map shows the environs surrounding Defiance Bay. Flags mark strategic access points to the city.
Greetings.
Oh. The Orland Man is surrounded by books. What? Hi there. The Orland Man is surrounded by books and scrolls. His wiry hair stands nearly on end, and his ears prick up as you approach. You carry whispers. Cad Nua, Gilded Veil. Old voices indeed. So, cipher requirement not met. How did you know? What are you talking about? You must be mistaken. This has happened a lot to Ximena in recent times, but I still don't think she'd, it hasn't gotten old yet. She'd still be surprised. How did you know? The Orlan grins, revealing a row of dagger-pointed teeth. As a cipher, it's my job to know these things. You carry the whiff of ancients. What else can you tell me? His ears twitch downward. Not as much as I would like, unfortunately. My duties for Lady Webb require me to focus my talents elsewhere. He regards a table piled with scrolls. What brings you to Dunred Row? It looks as though you could use some help. What are you so busy with? Tell me more about your skills. What are you so busy with? His small furry hands gesture expansively at the papers before him. Hollowborn, growing unrest, and the ever-present political intrigues. With so many missing souls, missing persons are the least of our concerns these days. Tell me about your skills. I check for soul connections, looking for lost things, missing things, or troublesome things, particularly where people of power and influence are concerned. I'm a cipher. In Glanfath, we were once known as Brashalgwyn, Mind Hunters. Nice title, yes, but it wasn't until the Animancers began working with my kind 40 years ago that we truly understood our power. Now we make some of the best detectives in the world. Tracing souls, we can look at a person and see where they've been, or look at a weapon and see who has touched it. His nose twitches as he looks at you, useful for solving crimes, as you can imagine. Oh, this is... I don't know what to make of this. I love detective stories. I absolutely love detective stories. And this is screaming like, A, you'll get a bunch of detective shit, and I'm like, yes, this seems cool. At the same time, this is a guy who can apparently just look at Ximena and be like, you've committed X, Y, and Z crimes. And Ximena's just like, oh no. Oh no. Oh, that's interesting. Farewell. Okay. This is very cool, but it makes me nervous. The scrolls are wedged tightly in the shelves. Each has a name scrawled along the outside. Okay, some agents. More agents. You've left the room right
This
as
calls for a subtle touch.
Give me a real challenge.
I come in. Like, you can't do
Consider it
this.
Give me a real challenge.
Yoink. Just very quickly. Very, very quickly. A group of notes speculate about the identity and location of a secret sect in Defiance Bay. Either these notes are written in code or the author's handwriting is atrocious. Oh, this is giving me Major Detective vibes. Major Detective vibes. This is unfair. This is exactly the kind of group I would like to ally myself with, but it's unfortunate because these people seem like they're the most pro-animancy. But they're detectives, and that's what puts off Ximena. That is, oh damn. Affixed to the wall are leads in a case involving apparently a caravan that disappeared en route to New Homar. Aye. Very interesting. Let's see what's over this way. Is that something I can unlock? Okay, no, it's just open. It's just open. Some of these vintages are even older than Defiance Bay. Like,
Nice to see you too.
You've come in. You've come in at just the perfect moment for you. I'll wait. I'll wait until you
Sure.
leave. There we go.
I'll take a peek. Mm-hmm.
Okay, no, they're coming back. They're coming back. God, we must look so suspicious. So suspicious. You know, one of us is hovering over the chest. The others are hovering by the wine rack. Still, come on. Almost. All for some milk. All of...
How may I help?
Who's keeping milk in a chest when you've got bottles of rare wine
Indeed.
on the walls? What kind of weirdos
Hey
are
there.
these? These people are freaks. Now then, what have you got upstairs? What have you got up here? The notes are scribbled in a cryptic shorthand. Okay, yeah, that's down. Okay, that's something we could steal, but there's a guy right there. Again, stealing. Pictures of all manner of folk are pinned to this board alongside notes scribbled in an indecipherable shorthand. Okay, we need the proper key to get into this room. So what's so special? If Lady Webb wants to see you, she'll send for you. Okay, so it's a person. It's someone's private office. Got it. Again, that's stealing. Boo. Boo. Let me steal. Much offense. I mean, it doesn't
Hey
look
there.
like there's anyone back here, so don't mind if I do. Ooh, yoink.
Hey there.
This is probably very silly. We're stealing from literally the police. We are in the police station stealing from the police. This is probably very silly, but hey, that's what Ximena like to do. Don't judge her. Okay, so now we've met all three groups. Oh, that's... I'm gonna need to think on that. That's tough. That's tough. Because these guys seem like the most pro-animancy. These seem like the most educated, but they're detectives. And they can know if someone's committed a crime just by looking at their soul. And Ximena commits crimes. You can't even say, oh, well, she's not committed any crimes in this country. No, we've been stealing. We've been stealing and, you know, blackmailing people. Do we really want to get in trouble for that? I don't know. I don't know. Well, let's have a read of some codex entries. Also, let's. Those are grimoires. Let's just put everything in here. Yes, all of the helmets. Kana, why do you have so many helmets? Why the obsession with helmets? I'm not going to question it. Okie doke. Okay, let's see. Where were we at? Where were we at? I think we're here. The Dozens. Scarcely a decade ago, on the Evandua Bridge, 7 men and 5 women fought valiantly to protect their homeland. They volunteered for the mission knowing it was up to them and them alone to prevent St. Widewin from crossing the bridge. They succeeded, even though they lost all but 4 of their number in the battle, and Widewin was on the bridge when the Godhammer detonated. The final 4 were lost in the blast as well, their sacrifice a testament to their dedication. The Dozens, a group ostensibly formed for the protection of the Deerwood, was founded in the honour of those men and women. Indeed, those 12 men and women were posthumously regarded by the Dozens as their true founders. Initially, the group dedicated itself to protecting Deerwood from invasion, patrolling the borders tirelessly in search of Red Seren forces regrouping for another attack. When that attack never materialised, many of the Dozens thought the next threat might come from Aethosian loyalists living in Deerwood, and they began to turn their attention within. All new members of the Dozens are required to swear an oath to remember the sacrifice of their founders and remain vigilant against Red Serens and any followers of Aethus. To this end, worshippers of Aethus are routinely harassed by the Dozens. The mindset of this group may be hard for some to understand, as any fanatical devotion can sometimes overshadow the ideals, but the original Dozen knowingly sacrificed their lives for Deerwood. From the Dozens' perspective, how can new members of the Dozens be any less committed to their country's welfare? What better way could there be to honour their founders? The Dozens are not a large group, but what they lack in size they make up for in fervent devotion to their cause, and a gift for gaining the ear of commoners. This makes them a force to be reckoned with, and there is no more influential group in shaping the discourse surrounding Widewin's legacy. A small but very vocal minority of extremists in the group are calling for a new war with Red Serus. Talk of purging the Deerwood of all followers of Aethus is also being touted. More recently, they have begun to see in the practice of animancy a possible cause to the legacy, and they have taken to the streets of Defiance Bay and the dirt roads of many distant settlements to make their case to the general public. Some point to this as one source of a recent surge in vigilantism and violence in the country. Yeah, I definitely don't think we'll be siding with the Dozens. I can say that for like definite. We're not going to side with the Dozens. It's just, do we want to go with the Crucible Knights, who are somewhat progressive, or do we side with Hadrat House, who are very progressive, but also can see into our soul and know that we've committed so many crimes and may or may not arrest us? Like, this is... it's dangerous. Siding with Hadrat House would be dangerous. Then again, if we get in good with them now, they might be more likely to overlook stuff later, maybe. I don't know, we'll have to see. I'll have to have a think on that. Either way, that's all I've got time for today. In the next one, we will continue exploring Brackenbury. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. A special thanks to my channel members, such as SM2K, Christopher K. Davis, CGG, and Kevin Bicknell. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.